I'm a terrible person. I'm so sorry, but I forgot. Anyway, we're going on Mist once again. Here we go. And we're going to be allying C. Excellent choice, Mr. Sonic. Excellent choice. I highly approve of this. I would in fact ally C myself if I was an observer in this game. And it looks like C overall in broadcast Sasua games is 105 wins and 49 losses. That's actually quite a few games. I assume that's Sasua games and not his actual, like, including Pro League games. Maybe that's including Pro League games. No, he must have a lot more Pro League games than that. I guess it's just Sasua games. Interesting. Pretty high win rate. It's about 2/3, 66%. I can do math, I promise. And Jaehoon is apparently 12 and... That's just 12 and 0? There's no 0 here. Wait, Jaehoon can't be 12 and 0, can he? Okay, I don't know what's going on there. Maybe that was just a Korean word that means like infinite. He's got 12 wins and just unlimited losses. That would fit Jaehoon, I think. Anyway, so we're once again on Mist, and we're not seeing the Protoss do any kind of proxy like Bisu did. He's gonna build the gateway in his main. It is a two-player map, so it can lend itself to a bit more cheesy shenanigans. But not gonna happen. Oh yes, we've got these awesome signs by the Korean fangirls. Man, it's all legit, except that's like a fanboy, isn't it? That was totally not a chick. Damn, we're so close. We're so close. The sign's good. Now we just need to fix the gender. Oh man. Right. So, oh yeah, I think I talked, or I briefly mentioned this in the last series, but of course, C kind of in the last couple of seasons of Pro League, notorious for just dying to proxy gates left and right. I mean, basically, here's what happened. Every time they played in Pro League, C would come out on Jade. And every time I came out on Jade, he tried a 1-rack expand because it's good on that map, but his opponent would proxy him, and he would die. I mean, I cannot tell you how many times this happened. It was so sad. I mean, not only did it happen like every time I casted, just did like my rebroadcasts for Pro League, but even when I actually went there physically to Korea, you know, I was so excited. I got to watch some StarCraft live, and then again. Oh, what was it? Was it Movie? I think Movie did it to C, and that was really sad for me because I really like Movie. Like, he was basically, you know, my second favorite Protoss player behind Stork at that point, and then he just had to proxy gate C while I was in the studio. I was like, man, I really like you, Movie, but I really like C too, and that is not cool. So I was a little bit disappointed in Movie for doing that, but I mean, you know, C kind of has it coming because it happened every game and he still kept losing to it, so I don't know what was going on there. It's kind of sad actually because he was supposed to be one of the powerhouses, I think, on Team 8, and just did not deliver. Just kept losing like that. Anyway, enough about that, because C is now awesome. He's a baller. He was on Team Liquid, alright, so, you know, that alone gives him awesome status, awesomeness status, shall we say. In the meantime, we've got a random SB actually checking around the stuff in the back here. I think he's just checking for any potential proxies, playing this pretty carefully, so that's quite good. There's not a lot of locations here for proxy robotics in particular, because the map architecture is a little bit like Outsider. You got these wacky bases around the back, and the main, unlike Outsider, is I think a little bit more exposed. It's more like you know, two-player maps like Heartbreak Ridge, shall we say, where there's a big ring around your main. There's a lot of potential paths for Grievous to make it in. Ooh, this is cute. This is going to trick a Vulture through, and that Vulture will be able to camp behind the natural mineral line of Jaehoon and stop him from mining a little bit there, which could be quite good. Maybe get a couple of probe kills. That would be pretty sweet. And there we go. He's just going to sit there and wait for the probes to transfer down to the natural, and that's a pretty cute move. I like it. I like it. So showing us a little bit of cute usage of the map, and it's going to be impossible for Dragoons to kill it, as you can see, because they can't go through the minerals. Oh, so he's going to go a little bit too close there. But it looks like, in fact, Jaehoon is preemptively mining out this small patch. You can see it actually is a limited value patch. It only has 16 more minerals, so just a couple more probe or mines there, and he'll be able to send some goons back there to deal with that vulture. So that's quite nice. Looks like Caesar's going to try and get a couple of probe kills before that happens. If he just gets 2, that'll be already worth it. Yes, 2 probe kills already paid for the vulture by itself, so that was fine. I was surprised Jaehoon let that happen. Sure, if that was Bisu, he would have pulled the probes. But hey, we can't all be Bisu. In fact, none of us can be Bisu. Only Bisu appears to be capable of being Bisu. As sad as that is for us mere mortals. It looks like the command center flies a little bit too far away. Oh, it's getting blocked by the SCVs though, actually. You have to move those out of the way. But otherwise, looks like a fairly calm opening here, aside from that little vulture trick. And a probe's actually moving out into the back here. I wonder if he'll actually expand on the inside and just mine that as a mineral only, or what? Because of course you can actually build a nexus on either side of those minerals you can see there at the top left. Obviously, if you want the gas, you have to build it on the outside here where the SCV's going. But if you build it on the inside, I guess it'll be slightly easier to defend. I really don't see a great reason to not build it on the outside, though. I really think you should just build it there and get the gas. It's not really that much harder to defend. And the Protoss at this point shouldn't be, particularly weak or anything like that. Ooh, that Stargate is very dubious. This is going to be Reavers into carriers. Oh, God, Jaehoon. Are carriers particularly good on this map? I'm not sure. I don't think I've seen carriers on this map, but that's because we haven't really seen many games on this map in general, especially PvTs. So, Jaehoon is in fact going to try and carrier. See, what is this vulture doing? Oh my god, he's just having a seizure in the minerals. I think he's trying to fit into that little gap so he can get pushed across, but he's just like, he just can't quite figure out how to get his head in there. It's like one of those funny videos on YouTube where a dog gets his head stuck in a door or something. Like those little dog, what do you call it? Like the little holes in the door for the dog to go through. I can't remember what it's called anymore. But when the dog gets stuck in one of those, it was like that. And that Reaver was not really successful. It got like 1 shot off on a tank and a turret, and that's about it. Lost of Zealot for that too. Man, what are those dog doors called? They're surely not just called dog doors. Are they? I thought they had a name. Ah, man, I just can't remember. Old and senile, that's what it does to you. Anyway. Should not die here, really. Dead. Unfortunate. He even had it on patrol too, so it turned around automatically. At least I think he did. I'm not sure. Lebo! Oh, he just shot the Marines. Man, that's boring. Somebody in the chat says it's just a doggy door. Well, that's uninteresting. We should come up with a better name for that. Anyway, we got a little Manor Pylon here in the third. That's probably not going to do very much. But hey, Carrier! Is Kim Carey actually casting today? Because that would make him very happy, but I don't hear any insanely excited screaming from the Korean casters. So I have to assume he's actually not in the studio. Wait, no, but that doesn't make sense. No, never mind. Because Pro League is the one that has rotating casters with the Marine and was it Go Rush casting that as well? They have a whole bunch of different casters. But for SSL, it's just Carrier and Lee Sung-won, right? So I guess he actually is in the studio. Hey, never mind. Ignore me. I don't know what I'm talking about. Oh no, it's Go Rush and Lee Sung-won. Okay, no, I was right. There wasn't a carry. Okay! Whoa! Man, okay, good. Excellent. It is Go Rush, in fact. So that's why there was a distinct lack of overexcited screaming. Not that I mind that. Kim carries awesome when he sees carriers. His reactions are fantastic. But I just didn't hear it. I was wondering what was going on. But it was Go Rush. And for some reason I don't hear anything. Is this just me? Oh, I think that is just me. Apparently my speaker, or sorry, not my speakers, my headphones just went quiet. I hope you guys can still hear. I think you can because the audio meter is still going up on XSplit, so I imagine you guys are probably unaffected. At least I'm hoping you guys are. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just keep casting this without hearing anything. It doesn't actually really matter for me, or it shouldn't. It feels kind of weird. But hopefully everything is still fine on the stream. Anyway, looks like we got a bit of a move out here from C. He's got a good number of Goliaths here, presumably because he scouted the carriers, so he's going Goliath tank here. Obviously the normal composition would in fact be Vulture, mainly Vultures and tanks, like we saw last game. But obviously against carrier, you're going to want some of those Goliaths. Now carriers might not be bad on this map because it's similar to Outsider with the ring expansions, although it's not quite as good because there are, like you can see that base that Jaehoon is taking below his main is accessible by land, so it's not like you can just take all the ring expansions and not have any of them and have them all completely protected against ground attacks. They are still slightly vulnerable to like Vulture Harass and that sort of thing, and obviously with the reduced ground army count that Jaehoon's going to be working with here, that could prove to be problematic. As you can see here, it looks like he's just planning to wall that off with some buildings. But in the meantime, a big army is pushing across, and we do have 4 carriers. Oh man, he's not microing though. Oh man, taking a lot of shots here. Might even just lose one. Okay, doesn't actually lose one. That would have been horrific. 4 carriers, of course, is the magic number for when you want to actually go and attack with them. Generally, you don't see people, just move out straight with the first 2 carriers. I believe 4 is the magic number because that's the number you need to one-shot a Goliath. I actually don't know whether that requires +1 attack on them or not. I think generally you have +1 attack at this point. Unfortunately, we can't see because it's blocked by Sonic's overlay. But I'm going to go ahead and assume that +1 attack is done on those carriers, and they will be one-shotting Goliaths with 4 of them in the group. And now it's going to be up to Jaehoon's carrier micro here. His ground army obviously isn't quite strong enough to deal with the Terran. But if he really micros these carries well and picks things off, and actually it looks like he might just be going for a counterattack here, just going to ignore the Terran army barreling down into his natural and just go for a huge counterattack. Very, very risky move here, but, playing refugee toss here with carriers is not as uncommon as it perhaps should be. And of course, the thing about this kind of base trade situation is that carriers can be microed so cost efficiently that if you both end up completely mined out with no money, carriers will often just win by being just ridiculously OP. Although that is not how you do it. I can't believe he lost a carrier already. Jaehoon. This is not how it works. Although he is moving in with the ground army now as well. And it looks like he might even be targeting the tanks with the carriers, and oh man, C is actually not pushing fast enough to the natural. I don't know why C hasn't just unsieged everything and attack moved, because he sees that the entire Protoss army is at his own natural. Why isn't he just attacking in? Why is he slow pushing into something that has no units? He's actually pulling his Goliaths back now. I guess C figures that if he can just kill this army that's at his natural and hold the position at the Protoss natural, he'll win the game that way. So instead of turning this into a base trade, he's just going to fortify this position. He has in fact killed the natural as well, so he's not pushing that slowly. He has killed the natural. But look at this, bringing all the Goliaths back. He's actually dealt with all the Protoss ground forces with only 3 carriers left, and Jaehoon not showing the most impressive micro. In fact, he could just lose another carrier. Oh goodness, Jaehoon's gonna lose another carrier. Oh, this is scary. Oh no, the Goliaths bugged out. They got stuck on the map. And actually, there's only 2 carriers left there. Another one must have died while I wasn't paying attention or something, but there's actually only 2 carriers there, one of which is almost dead. So Jaehoon is basically dead, I think. There's actually a lot of turrets there now protecting the tanks, and the Goliaths are moving back. They're actually going to get there before the carriers get back. So I'm not really sure what Jaehoon's going to do right now. At least he got the bottom, not the bottom left, but the base below his main. But if C actually scouts that, he can just take that down with like 2 units. I don't think there's anything there. Well, the carriers are there now, but if he just pulls the carriers away or something. Oh, and there's the scan. So now he knows. So C should be able to deal with this pretty easily. And he even got the carriers with that scan as well. Oh man, look at him just building turrets all over the place. Looks like Shuttle's actually going to go down and elevate some probes over there so Jaehoon can keep mining. But Jaehoon's going to have to show a lot better carrier control than he has so far if he wants to keep this base alive and stay in the game. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That wasn't Probes he brought down here. That was a Reaver and Goliath. Okay, that is going to be much more difficult for the Goliaths to break. That Reaver, yeah, you can see, sees the Reaver and immediately moves out because he knows there's no way he's getting across a narrow bridge with that Reaver there. And the carrier is obviously on top. So in the meantime, we got more Dragoons being ferried down, and a probe actually blocking a third command in here. Obviously, the SCV can just build it slightly to the side. The probe would probably just, you know, start zapping away at it, which would be just as annoying. And meanwhile, looks like the carriers are going to start poking down these turrets at the front. There are a good number. It looks like 4 or 5 carriers. Once again, they do have +1 attack for sure. I just saw that upgrade, and in fact, they have a good number of interceptors as well. Another carrier joins the fray, but the Goliaths come back as well. And actually, looks like the interceptor count is wearing thin, though, with all these Goliaths helping to shoot them down. So Jaehoon's also got to be careful. And one thing you got to be aware of, obviously, is that the interceptors themselves also cost minerals. I believe they're 25 minerals apiece. So they're not that cheap to replace either. So, you know, if he gets mined out, it's not like he's going to have infinite interceptors to work with. In the meantime, I'm actually doing some dual shuttle action. Oh man, is he just going to go for a gigantic counterattack with all his goons? That would be pretty crazy here, because there's no way he's getting out the front, obviously. C is just fortifying this hardcore. It looks like C is just going to fortify that enough to make sure that no units can get out, and then just go and try and focus his efforts on killing his base. But here we go. He sees all the Goliaths coming out. He's only got a couple of siege tanks there with the army. It looks like the 3 siege tanks are it. There's a few zealots there running in the front. Obviously, they don't even have speed. There's a Reaver at the front. Unfortunately, dropped in a poor position by Jaehoon. Doesn't get the maximum effect from that Reaver, and it looks like the Goliaths know they're going to die, so they're just going to try and kill this one carrier, not even going to get it. And oh man, Jaehoon looks like he's pulling ahead now. See, you can see on his face, realizes the danger here. All his units are at the contained, but now this counterattack is going to be too much. Look at all the carriers. Oh no, there were 2 carriers that survived with like 1 hit left each, and those are being so problematic. C just unsieging everything now, going for the big attack into the main base, but C could be dead here to these carriers despite looking in a very strong position for almost the entire game. Now it just has no good way to deal with the carrier count. The carrier count has essentially at this point hit critical mass here, given the low Goliath count, and this is basically it. I mean, look at all those interceptors coming out. Oh god, the carriers. Oh man, I can just feel the cries of despair and Imba from all the Terran players watching the stream right now. Oh god, or basically any Terran player watching this game, I'm sure is feeling very, very frustrated. And with good reason, with very good reason, because this is a little bit unfortunate. GG from C, and Jaehoon takes game number 1 with the help of the carrier. Oh man, I wonder whether it's ironic that Idra has actually retired now. Maybe Idra retired after seeing this game. I don't know. When did he actually post his retirement blog thing? I don't know, that was 2 days ago. I think it would have been much funnier if he posted it like right after this game was played. Like, yep, I'm done with this game. You know, he's not even playing Brewer, he's playing StarCraft 2, but he's like, yep, carriers are so OP in Brewer, I'm just gonna leave StarCraft entirely. That would be a very Idra thing to do. Anyway, so that is that for game number 1. Game number 2 will of course be on electric circuit, just like the last series. And game 3, if required, if C can win, will be on Fighting Spirit.
거의 뭐 시즈 탱크 12개가 서 있는 그런 느낌이었을 거예요. 아, 이번에는 여성 팬분이 그 플랜카드를 들고 있네요. 예. 자